You checked on your phone.
That is true.
All right. Let's see. Are you there?
Whoa.
Well, is that
nice voice? I can hear you good.
It's nice and sultry.
Welcome to.
Welcome to Mosswood Tasting.
Yeah, look at those. You gotta get a bigger fish eye. Smaller, you gotta get a wider. Oh, we're streaming, dude. We're good.
Yeah, but you can see me, right?
Get a wider fish eye to see the mosswood.
Wait, but you can see us.
Both people are in frame.
There we go. We're perfect. We're good.
All are in frame.
We're good. And we're getting a lot of comments, I'm sure.
Isn't it weird that you can be in frame, but then frames are like made of things?
Did you have some pot upstairs?
No, man.
Do you want some pot?
I don't do that, man.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I don't do pot.
You don't smoke the marijuana?
No, I believe plants should not be constrained when they grow. They shouldn't be in pots.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I realized when I was trying to get over the hump of this carpet? This is like what life is. Like, right. I was legitimately too lazy to I was too lazy to go pick up my chair and go over the hump of the carpet, so I just pushed into it repeatedly for 10 minutes.
And that's
to no avail. And that is life.
That is life.
Like, I was banging into a wall with a carpet on a wheel of a chair. And you take a step back from your world and you look down on yourself and you see yourself doing these things, and it's scary, man. And
this is Vomiting Rainbows. This is a
thanks for pouring me, dude.
It's a dark news podcast. It's a dark news.
Mosswood.
It's a dark news podcast.
I'm sitting over here lost with. I keep trying to sip out of an empty glass. Oh my god, he's spilling all over the place. Whoa, hey.
This is a dark.
I'm trying to fit a goldfish in here.
This is a dark news podcast with my buddy Joe. Tonight we've decided to do it with drinking to make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah,
because we're
interesting
because we're like a cutting edge newscast of dark news.
Your name is engraved on this.
It is. We're talking about a bottle of whiskey. So on tonight we're live streaming.
Are you related to the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals?
Who the fuck
Andy
is
Dalton? Is he still the quarterback? He is, right? Wasn't he for a while?
Okay.
Which is weird because he's I think he's Irish.
Are you talking to me about sports? And do you know how wrong that is?
I'm talking to you about last names, man.
Yeah, well,
there happens to be symmetry with sports in this case of the last name.
Mm-hmm.
Are there other famous Daltons besides yourself and Andy?
The Dalton gang.
Oh,
the best gang.
Are you related to them?
I am.
So this is a podcast about
the Dalton gang.
Who Doug's related to. And we just did a 23andMe with him last weekend and have the reports back right in front of us.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. And speaking
but were you just saying that, or are you actually related to the Dalton gang?
Dude, I'm totally related to them.
Can we tell that story? I feel like that could be like a dark news story right there.
It is.
Where are they now?
Well, so the Dalton gang were a bunch of outlaws. They're from the Kentucky-Tennessee border. And
Kentucky whiskey, man.
Exactly. And we're having Mosswood, which is a local San Francisco whiskey.
Inspired by Kentucky whiskeys, though, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Jake is the master distiller who you went to a wedding with.
Yeah. Great couple.
I had the pleasure of working with.
Yeah.
So one of the other things about the Dalton gang, other than them being...
Or anything about them, because you haven't said anything about them yet.
I did. I said they were from Kentucky.
I mean, I guess that counts. Does that count?
It does.
All right.
I feel like it counts.
I feel like there's like you set the table on what people start as, and then there's something about them. But I guess something about someone is where they're from. But then if it's an old story like that, is it actually something about them? Doesn't the threshold of need and what you're gonna say reflect on if it's an old gang, it has to be more just where they're from.
Whoa, yeah. Well, I was going with that.
Fair enough.
So one was a cattle rustler.
Okay.
The other was a sheriff.
You would wrestle cows?
Yeah, you just wrestle them.
Got it.
Rustler.
Oh, got it.
Rustler. So he was
walk around in bushes next to him and scare him.
Exactly. That's exactly what a rustler is. So for those
there were sheep flags.
Well, for those that are as knowledgeable as Joe, a rustler is somebody who steals cows from people who own them, and then his sheriff in the town was his brother.
Oh, that's convenient.
And so he was supposed to be hung in the town. They decided to leave in the cover of night rather than hanging his brother.
Yeah.
And they robbed trains across the coast.
Wow.
They ran with people like Wyatt Earp, Billy the Kid.
So they were like friends? Like, do you feel like the thieves of those days were like buddies?
No, I feel like they were...
Or are they competitive?
No, I just felt like there were people who ran...
They would jog a lot.
Yeah. They would jog together.
Yeah.
You know, they
believe in exercise.
Exactly. They were very much into like getting the morning workout together, and then they would like go on their separate way.
Got it.
So they were like all
horse cycle.
Right.
It's a Soul Cycle reference. Come on, man.
Dude,
it's a Soul Cycle joke.
Dude, I love how proud. I love how proud of yourself you are.
Yeah, if people could only see.
Well, they can't actually see. That would be the camera that's live stream.
How many people could see that?
All right.
Based on how many people are watching right now, I'm gonna get maybe mad or happy on how many comments.
I love that you're gonna check that out right now. But anyway, regardless of that, they continued to go across the country, and while they went across the country, they would rob trains. Eventually, they got.
Wait a minute, I have a question.
Arrested and hung.
Now
they're all dead.
How do you rob a train? How do your relatives rob a train when they're carrying around a bunch of cows that they stole? Yeah, riddle me that, Dalton. Did they fucking ride the cows?
That's what they did.
That would be rad. Like Westworld style with cows?
Dude.
I think Game of Thrones... I think Game of Thrones might be Westworld. Think about this. Like the end... I'm not going to give anything away, because I know we have a lot of listeners.
Right.
I'm not going to give anything away. I'm going to say, what if the end of Game of Thrones ends up just being an alternate Westworld? Like a world that people... You watch Westworld, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like a world where you could buy into and be. And then all of a sudden you find out that like Jon Snow is some investment banker from New York who like paid to be in Game of Thrones.
Oh, dude, that would be amazing.
Wouldn't that be the best ending possible?
That would be amazing.
I can't believe there aren't like more theories about that. There must be someone somewhere. Sometime.
Okay.
Where were we?
Oh, so we were going to...
Dalton's, your family.
No, we were going to talk about some celebrities.
Okay.
You know, like people who have, you know, weird shit, like stalkers.
Right.
Right. So, like, everyone, like, weird shit happens. Like, some people, like, steal their stuff and try and sell it online.
Right.
Like, I don't know if you just heard about Madonna recently. A bunch of her stuff was stolen, and then it was going to be put online.
I remember that happened to LeBron in the finals last year, though. Or no, that was just someone who, like, graffitied the house. Never mind. But it was the same idea. It's like a celebrity getting effed with.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the gist.
And
stalkers were people who created the stockings, too. I found that out recently. That you go for Christmas holidays.
No.
I swear to God.
What are you talking about?
What?
Dude, this is literally going to be the most banana podcast. And I'm, like, kind of excited for how weird it is going.
Well, it's not plural? It's one banana. Wait a minute.
Well, yeah, there's just one banana right here.
So what about Madonna?
It's just one banana.
Dude, don't point, man.
All right. Anyway,
people pointed. That's like back in the day, man. That was like you might as well shoot somebody.
Okay.
Because people would poke people to death.
What?
During the Renaissance, no one knows this.
Okay.
During the Renaissance,
go on.
They didn't have like a lot of weapons, so like people would do these exercises with their fingers to get them super strong, and they like didn't have like steel. Was that dude? I don't need more of that.
No,
I want to try that, but I haven't finished this one.
Yeah, well, I gave you a
So steel, that's trouble. Steel was at like a premium, and so people who couldn't afford knives would like exercise with their fingers so they could poke people and like stab them with their fingers. And like not a lot of people realize this, but like a lot of the serial killers during the Renaissance era, they called them pokers. And that's actually, this is crazy. That's actually...
No, this doesn't sound crazy at all.
That's actually how poker, the game, the card game came about. Because some dude poked a king to death, and then like with his blood, speaking of dark C-word segueing right into your fucking meat house, wheelhouse, your meat house.
Oh my god. My meat
Doug's
house.
Meat House. Right. So like he made these little playing cards, and then they started playing games, and then they had little chips, and then it was poker before you knew it.
Well, there you
and
go.
then Texas Hold'em was because they would start to like hold people who were poking people in Texas. They like hold them back.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, hold them back, Charlie.
Dude, I feel like this is the biggest. This is like Trumpism. This is like you went with something and then you just kept going and you just kept going.
When this is like written on a page, it's
yeah,
gonna be
exactly.
like one of Trump's speeches.
Exactly. You're like
that shit was crazy.
You're like all of a sudden it was like I gave a speech to the Boy Scouts. And it was the greatest speech in the entire world.
My grandfather went to Cambridge, great business school, great guy. We won the pennant, and then the Giants, and then they ate meat.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So, well done.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyway, Madonna. Back to Madonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember? So, you didn't know about this, but she actually had an injunction done because her panties were sold.
When was this?
This was last month.
Oh, wow.
And so, an injunction was done because she said there was DNA on her panties, and she was afraid that people could clone her.
What?
Yes.
Dude, what kind of stuff is she letting out?
Well, let's just say, anyway, she was just trying to stop her panties from being sold.
Right.
Right.
She had her panties in a bunch, if you will.
As it were.
Yeah.
So, weird shit. On the other hand, the Daily Mail listed another series of disturbing events where the model Chloe Alying, she was booked for a photo shoot in Milan, and then someone decided they wanted more than just her panties.
What?
So they stole her.
Dude, this is like Robert De Niro, and this is like The Fan, when he like cuts off the number from, what's his name?
Okay.
Benicio del Toro. Yeah.
I didn't see that movie.
Great movie. San Francisco's in it. So they kidnapped this model.
Uh-huh.
Well, then what happened? Wait, what happened to Madonna's panties?
Well, I thought you were telling us about
No. Well, it's a movie. The Fan. It's a great movie.
Okay.
It's about Bobby Rayburn gets traded from, I think, the Braves to the Giants. He's like the best player in the league. He goes to the Giants. He doesn't wear his number because, like, Primo, this guy who Benicio del Toro plays, is wearing his number, and the super fan played by Robert De Niro, like, long story short, I can't give away the whole movie, but he cuts off this tattoo of this number from Benicio del Toro. It's hardcore shit, man.
Good segue. So...
yeah, I told you I shouldn't have told that story.
No, it's good. So anyway, they take Chloe. They gave her she thought she was doing a modeling shoot in Milan, and during the modeling shoot, they gave her a bunch of chocolates before the shoot, which I guess were drugged with something. Oh, she said.
So it's like a team effort, though.
Yeah. So she said that she was drugged. She was put into a bag, and then shoved in the back of a car.
Good Lord.
She woke up in Turin, Italy, in the mountains, and she was trapped there for 6 days.
Dude.
Yeah.
What was this? This is also recent?
Yeah, just like a month ago.
We're like a contemporary news show.
Welcome to the podcast.
I was going to say, why are you telling stories from years ago? I was like, oh, these are...
Hi, Joe.
None of this makes my Facebook news top stories.
Yeah, what were we talking about earlier, and you didn't even know anything about that when we were...
Oh, it was a Trump thing, I think. Wasn't it? No. No, it was a North Korea thing. It was one of those things. But not the big thing that's on everyone's mind now. I'm aware of that.
I don't know.
But I feel like, wouldn't you hear about these models getting... Well, I guess this is how you hear about it, because you have to listen to this podcast.
You have to listen to the podcast. So anyway, she was put on the dark web for sale.
Oh my God, man.
There was pictures of her in a bathing suit, kind of completely knocked out, and a bid number put on her, like where to bid for her.
Jesus Christ.
And it said only for sale from the Black Death Group website. A lot of people have copied us, so only go to the original.
But if you have an actual URL, wouldn't that be traceable?
Yeah, but it's the dark web.
So, I feel like you would understand this. I don't really understand how the dark web stays dark. Like, can you do a very quick tutorial on that for all the listeners out there who I imagine also understand it, maybe? Or maybe half of them don't understand it.
So, the dark web...
Is it like a cryptocurrency where it's decentralized with the information from the
basically,
servers?
yeah.
Okay.
So, what they do is they run an agent called Tor, and then Tor allows you to access the dark web via, like, a Bitcoin like reference.
Like torrent where it's multiple sites.
Right, but it's like you have a key and then you can
it's decentralized.
Very decentralized. And you can't find it anywhere apparently. Although people could run fake Tor servers to like
try to find it.
Yeah. But anyway.
And they've never been able to really break through to that technology.
Oh no, they have.
Okay.
No, like
people. So they're tracing people that are doing crazy shit like this.
They can narrow them down, but like Tor's getting better and better, and so that's
like
having
technology.
Yeah,
battle.
So it's a battle. But so anyway, this group then a British newspaper was sent an email that basically said, "Can you believe this British model who's 20 years old is being sold online by the Russian mafia?"
What?
Which seems a little weird.
Yeah.
But and
like
then they sent and then they sent the 2 pictures of her that were apparently on the dark web. And they said they wanted her agent's name. And her and then they contacted the agent and said, "If you want the bidding to stop on the model, send us £300,000 and we'll stop this auction. So we won't sell her." And she was told that she was being sold to the Middle East.
What?
Yeah, as a sex slave.
Insane.
So
that there were already bids going down that road.
That's what they alluded to. So this is where things go a little bit weird. And by a little bit weird, not quite jiving with a kidnapping.
Patty Hearst thing going on here?
So, when Chloe first told, when she was recovered, she said she was not sexually assaulted.
Okay.
The police interviewed her a second time. And during the second time, they said, by the way, we know that from looking at the video throughout the town, that you went shoe shopping with the guy who abducted you, and you also had brunch with him.
Yeah, but I mean, was it at will?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Her attorney is saying she was in fear for her life. She was told that people were watching her all the time and that she would be killed, and she was just trying to be complicit.
Yeah.
But
I mean, hard to know that, right? Like both sides of that.
It's hard to know
because on one sense, for sure, you're like, all right. Most people rationally would run like crazy the second they're around 2 other people if they were kidnapped. Because who knows if they're going to stay alive, right? Like, you would be in survival mode on the highest level, I feel like. But then there's the other side of that. I don't know. I've never had that happen. And maybe you're just so afraid that you're trying to, like, not make a scene. And this person's capable of kidnapping you, so who else knows? Who knows what else they're capable of?
You know, I thought about doing this podcast and just wanted to run like hell.
Is this door locked?
It is locked. You've been trapped here for 3 months.
Because I guess when do you even know? Like, maybe she didn't know. She probably knew.
She definitely knew, and so I think...
So what do you think? What do you think? Do you think this was maybe a long play on getting $400,000 for her and like splitting it with this dude? She's like dating.
No. I don't think she was trying to take her agent for money. I think what she was, I'm going to play devil's advocate on this. If she were, so she's an Instagram model. She has about 200,000 followers.
She's looking for more followers.
She's looking for more followers, looking for more popularity, looking for more fame. Also, all of a sudden, they just decide to let her go at the British consulate, and the British consulate's closed, so they take her to brunch. I mean, I'm just saying it just seems a little...
Wait, so what happened between the time when they asked the agent for money and letting her go? Like, what was the process of, oh, you're not going to pay us, okay, we'll let her go?
No, otherwise they would let the bidding continue on the dark web.
Why didn't that happen? Like, what happened between
Yeah,
so
why?
No one knows this.
No one knows this.
So basically the process was she was up there, she was 6 days, there were people bidding on her.
Yeah.
They reached out to the agent and said, if you don't make a bid, we're going to sell her to the Middle East. And then the next thing that happens is they go to the British consulate, and then she has brunch, and then they go back to the British consulate and drop her off.
Oh no. Before that, the day before that, they had food together in town and went shoe shopping.
Oh, they have shoes? You see the shoes?
I didn't see them.
Maybe it's a shoe company. It's like next level product placement, dude.
It could be.
Like, you know these Instagram stars, they get paid? What if it's like, did they buy Louis Vuittons?
Well,
the
other thing is that the Italian police, the guy who was arrested is Polish. So it's a multi-country investigation right now. It's between Britain, Italy, and the Polish police. So
do they have the guy in custody?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they have him.
But how did that happen? Did I miss that?
No, he dropped. Remember, I told you.
Right, he dropped her off. But
no, he was going to initially drop her off at the embassy, but it was closed. So he took her to brunch, and then came back and dropped her at the embassy. But the embassy reviews all the footage of people who come to the door. And while they were reviewing that, they were like, "Oh, this girl is reported as kidnapped."
Oh my god!
And she's like, big news in the UK.
So he wasn't trying to get caught.
No.
Yeah, but they caught him when they brought him.
No, he brought her back, and they're like, "Oh, yeah." He pulled over, and they're like,
"Just the two of them."
Just the two of them.
Wow, dude.
It just seems. Really? No.
So what's she saying now? She's saying I was kidnapped.
I wasn't
sexually assaulted in any way.
And at no point was I in cohorts with any of these people.
Okay. So she's still promoting the idea that they should convict this person for kidnapping her.
Yeah, I assume.
Because think about it.
Her attorney is, yes.
Well, I guess, we don't know. Because if they were in true cahoots.
Dude, are you still, like, sucking on that? Is that... No, that's Mosswood. It's not Pappy.
If we were true cahoots... If they were in true cahoots, I'd love to see the origin of that word, by the way. That's another podcast we should do. Origin of Words with Doug and Joe. Then you would think that she would just be like, all right, yeah, I didn't want this to happen, but I don't want to press charges, right? Because, like, she's an adult, so she could just say, I don't press charges, it's all good. So I feel like that's the move they're in cahoots, unless her lawyer is saying, or she's thinking, don't do that because... A, it makes you look horrible, or B, it might get you in trouble, which I imagine maybe it would get her in trouble, but if not, then why doesn't, then it seems like it maybe is real and she really was kidnapped.
Well, yeah, I think the big question mark is, was it real or not? And then secondly, the other question mark is, if you are selling somebody to the dark web,
right,
and you're this bad group of people, like Death, what were they called? The Death something, whatever. Right. Yeah, those guys. If you have $300,000 from the Middle East to sell somebody for something,
why did you not do that?
Why did that not happen?
Right.
As opposed to, like, dropping somebody off.
Yeah, that's probably the most peculiar part of the story. Why would they all of a sudden have, like, moral, or just like, oh, okay, we'll just drop her off then?
Yeah, drop her off at the British Embassy.
Unless they were totally lying about. I mean, unless the fact is that on the dark web, it is kind of traceable. People are maybe a little bit afraid. They don't want to get busted. And they never actually had any bidder. The whole long play was trying to get money from the agent, leveraging the idea that they were going to sell her somewhere else.
But I abducted the stone foxes, and, like, you wouldn't pay me shit.
I wouldn't pay you a penny, dude.
You were like, I was like, dude, either you give me this money, or I'm going to sell the stone foxes on the dark web.
But see, that's interesting. Like... And it's
and
almost
then,
like the...
And then there would be a Russian band called the Stone Foxes.
You're going to translate that nice.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be some level of... It would be interesting to see the numbers, because I feel like it's the same concept of, like, settling out of court. You don't really know. It gets back to, like, the R. Kelly stuff. You don't really know what happened, and in the sense of how many times have people paid off... Like, how often do people pay off hostage situations? Is it incredibly rare, or because it happens, and you probably wouldn't be like, oh, I'm rich and I don't mind paying it off, and I think it's a cool thing. You wouldn't brag about that.
No.
So it might happen way more often than we think. Because this is what I don't get. In the world of very, very wealthy people,
right?
If it was like your daughter or your son, $300,000 is like a drop in the bucket, right? For your kid. You wouldn't even hesitate with that. The government issue, when people are threatening governments and over lines of countries, that's a wholly different story, because the government has to stand by, not looking weak and all these different things. But as like a family, you'd pay that in a freaking second.
And just a note to future kidnappers: when Joe has a family, just look him up. 300K is nothing.
I will never have that money. Well, yeah.
Stone Fox's money. Right. You got lots of money on
totally.
That. All right.
But you see what I'm saying? So like maybe they were doing it thinking that they would get the money from the agent because they get it a lot, and it's not as common to get $300,000 from. Well,
she's also but she's also like an up and coming. She's 20 years old. She's
a celebrity.
Yeah, she's up and coming, but she is like getting a lot of a lot of traction. But
you can find incentive for her to fake it for sure.
So.
So she's back, and does she have more than has her?
No, she's already
followers doubled.
No, it hasn't doubled. She's gotten 14,000 more followers.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That might be a bit of a letdown.
That
might faking it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a letdown, but
maybe how many shoes did the shoe company sell?
I don't know.
Yeah. You don't know the name of the shoe company, so
no, we don't. We can't.
Well.
Yeah, it didn't go well. She if she were branding with the shoe company, she should have been like, and we went and got Adidas.
That's a good name of a shoe, Adidas.
That's how you're supposed to.
I love the Adidas.
Isn't that how you're supposed to say it?
Beautiful. I don't even know, dude. I have no idea what fashion even is, man. Look at me.
Dude, you know what Adidas are.
Oh, you said Adidas.
But it's called Adidas.
See, I didn't know that. I thought you were saying some fancy shoe company.
Shut the fuck up and drink your whiskey. All right. While he's drinking his whiskey.
How long does it take me to take a sip? It's not going to take 20 minutes.
All right. Dude, look. Nothing compares to you.
Oh, now you're getting into Sinead O'Connor covering Prince, huh? Prince original, dude.
All right. First of all, is it really?
Yeah, that's no one knows this, and it's crazy because I didn't know it forever, and everyone can knock Sinead, but that's a fucking killer song.
It's a great song.
Video, it's like powerful. She's crying. People make fun of people crying. I don't get that. Like, let people cry. Let people experience life and emotion. Anyway, beautiful video, beautiful song. She has a beautiful voice.
Just cry, Joe.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there with all these dark news stories.
Okay.
Prince wrote that song.
I had no idea.
Yeah, and I think the only version you can find is a live version, which is crazy. But it's also crazy about Purple Rain was recorded live. This is one of the most genius things in music, is that he knew how good that song was. Apparently he had never played it before in his life live, and so he hired like the world-renowned live recording engineer to go to this spot in Minneapolis, and he's like, I want to play this song, and like 70 to 80% of the song is all recorded live the first time it was ever played, and no one fucking knows that, and that's crazy. That's like the
crazy.
Coolest narrative about a song ever. So when you listen to Purple Rain, it's like that was the first time he ever played it to anybody at this dope local spot. Talk about a fucking tangent, though. Jesus.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry, man. We're all.
You just pew.
Yeah.
All right, but anyway. This is
what ADD is.
Okay. I'm the one who has ADD.
Well, both of us do.
No, you don't.
It's ADDD, or is it AA?
It's ADJDD.
AADD. AADDJD. ADDDJ. Wait, we have at least another.
No.
We have at least another 200 iterations, man.
All right. Anyway, so just out of curiosity, do you know where Sinead is today?
Great question.
I mean, where is she now?
I have no idea. Can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think she's still making royalty money, but here's the interesting thing about music.
Okay.
So because that's a Prince original, that's her biggest hit. She had some other ones, but that's her biggest hit probably for sure.
Right.
So her big checks would come from that, but she only probably owns the master royalties. I don't know if it's on a major label or not. So really, Prince is making probably as much, if not more, money from that song. So realistically, she might not still have a ton of dough. It's possible she's like a hairdresser in Columbus, Ohio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She's actually in Hackensack, New Jersey.
Oh, wow. Jersey.
Yeah.
What's she doing?
She's
Hackensack?
Yeah.
Is that where the hacky sack was invented?
No.
Okay.
So she's in Hackensack. Today she posted a suicide video.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Was this already part of the...
Yeah.
Did I segue into someone out of the blue that you had on the itinerary of the show?
Yes.
Dude, what?
And you didn't segue.
No, but that's crazy.
Yes. That's great. This is the podcast.
Wait, no, but you were... Oh, it's not crazy. You were already... Damn it, man.
See?
For a second there?
You thought.
That would have been amazing. You totally pre-segued.
I pre-segued you. But anyway, so she's having a very public meltdown. She's been having it for years. It's mostly over the fact that her 13-year-old son was taken from her from the Irish welfare.
What?
Yeah. What?
That's super sad. My what was like, damn. I should have said damn.
I'm sorry.
I said what instead of damn. I didn't. I heard you. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you. This is a super happy podcast. So she's having. So this is more like a Kanye segue from last week. Is really where I was going to go with it, but since we're drinking, that's just not.
Yeah, no. Let's see what happens.
All right. So.
That's really sad, though.
Yeah. So
no one wishes anything like that.
So and then Hackensack, New Jersey is just not.
Is that not good, huh? I've never been.
Well, no, it's a travelage. I mean, come on. It's not good.
God.
This is not the place you want to have a public
So
breakdown.
she isn't making money. She didn't get the pub. Prince has all her pub. Or had all her pub.
No, she was actually doing really well, but she averted paying taxes in the UK, so they find her a lot of money.
Wait,
for
so
that.
your kid's like an asset? Wait,
no,
you didn't take the kid away.
Oh, not because of her not paying.
That would be some crazy government like leverage.
Yeah, that would be.
Like, well, if you have a car, we'll take the car. If you have a house, we'll take the house. If you have a kid, we'll take the kid.
Well,
keep your credit up.
Let's just first say that.
What was that?
That's Ben.
Is this haunted, man?
Ben is not haunted. Ben has just been.
I didn't see him though. I just heard him.
This is a podcast with me, Joe, and Ben, who is our haunted ghost who's standing behind us.
Yeah. Ghost cat.
Anyway, so, dude, Hackensack, New Jersey, a sad place for a breakdown.
I'll take your word for it. It's like a travel lodge.
A travel lodge is a sad place for Sinead O'Connor to have a breakdown.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah. So anyway, so she was threatening suicide. They did a welfare check on her. She's fine. Everything's okay. She's not committed suicide. All good.
But she wrote a letter, or she posted a video of someone else committing suicide? What was the video?
No, she posted a video saying that she was going to commit suicide.
Oh God, man.
At least
that's a cry for help. That's like, come help, and that's good.
This is her third video that she's posted online of her going to commit suicide. So it's
like maybe the same theme, looking for attention.
It is looking for attention, but she's
going through some shit. That's tough.
Yeah, and she's also bipolar.
Yeah, didn't know that.
So she came out on the Oprah Winfrey Show as bipolar and also lesbian. She said, "I'm a fucking dyke."
Got it.
Was
that recently?
No, that was I think 2011.
Okay.
So she has been married 4 times. And what else do you know about her? Just in general. Tell me about...
Wait, what do I know about her?
Yeah, I want to know... I mean, you're in the music industry. You should know about, like... I think she's
related to Conor McGregor, I've heard.
Who's that?
The WWE wrestler who's about to fight Floyd Mayweather for like
$100
million.
No way.
I don't know. They just have a similar sounding name. Dude, I don't know anything else about her.
Dude, you can't...
I know that she had like a really good song. I know when I was in college in Santa Barbara...
Funny. Let's just like...
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
All right.
I was at college in Santa Barbara. I remember an Irish girl requested to sing her at our rock and roll karaoke. That was another, like... It is weird the things you remember in life. Like, I remember that. Of all the... And not that I've had that eventful, but I've had a decently eventful life, and I remember some girl randomly requesting a Sinead O'Connor song at a bowling alley. Why do I remember that? But I remember that.
All right, but earlier at dinner, you couldn't remember the word hard.
No. Well,
so,
yeah.
Yeah.
I have a soft heart, man.
All right, anyway. So Sinead has been married 4 times. She has 4 children. She lashed out against her oldest son, Jake, because apparently...
He's the 13-year-old.
No, he's the oldest.
Oh, how many kids does she have?
4.
Okay.
And one of the big things is that, and for 4 marriages, and she called her oldest son a selfish prick, just like her dad.
Damn.
That's like hard.
How did this come out?
She was very vocal publicly about this.
Okay.
And
then apologetic, or she was saying that like publicly about her oldest son.
Publicly about her oldest son.
That's brutal, man.
Yeah. So.
Who's how old?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But I'm guessing it's in his 20s. So the Irish Welfare Department took her second youngest child away. Her first youngest child is with her husband, and she's not fighting that. So she basically said her whole life centers around her second youngest child.
Dang, dude.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's weird. And she's been protesting this, and so she said her suicide today would be a protest against taking children from mothers.
Man, that's not a good protest.
No.
Because that's the thing about,
it's called welfare department,
well,
and it's child
and like taking
welfare.
your life, the person that affects the most is your kid. Like,
exactly.
You're protesting something that's making their experience 1,000 times worse. It's absurd.
And unequivocally, all of her family and friends say that she has become so hard to deal with that none of them associate with her anymore.
Yeah. Well, so she's isolated herself.
She's completely...
Which is an understandable thing that would happen to someone with that illness. And it's sad, dude. And I just hope that... hopefully her older kids can be a little bit, maybe. You just hope those people who, don't necessarily deserve it, but would be available to help in any way. But it sounds like it's going to be a really hard battle.
Yeah, so...
I don't know what you do.
But... So she's known for protesting a lot of things.
Right.
Obviously the one where so on Saturday Night Live in 1992, she ripped up a picture of the Pope.
Right.
The Pope.
Right.
And then sang a song from Bob Marley.
Wow. Oh, I don't remember what song she sang.
That was a weird thing that when I was reading this, I was like, really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Did she make a correlation there or no? Huh.
She said that song was about child abuse and endangerment. And so...
we've had some bad popes, I will say.
Yeah.
I'm down with the current pope. But there have been some iffy popes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
The next week, she started a feud with Madonna. And she started that feud when Madonna went the next week on to Saturday Night Live and ripped up a picture of Joey Buttafuoco. And said...
Wait, after the feud with Sinead?
Yeah.
That's good.
Which I thought was really funny.
That's funny.
Madonna
seems pretty clever.
She's really clever. Yeah. Of course, this shows how old this was.
Well, it does.
No millennial will know who Joey Buttafuoco was. Right. But Joey Buttafuoco was a guy who cheated on his wife with a woman named Amy Fisher. And Amy Fisher then went back and shot his wife in the head, in the eye, and then she survived, and he stayed with his wife. It was the weirdest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And he was also a douche. So, so then she was linked to Prince.
Just now?
Recently.
Oh, Sinead?
Yeah. Arsenio Hall came out recently and said that during the time that Sinead hung out with Prince, which apparently they...
Didn't know that was a thing. Were they like a couple?
No. They just hung out together. But apparently she gave him a lot of drugs. And mostly painkillers.
What? So she's like the reason Prince is gone.
That's what Arsenio alluded to. And then she hit him with a $5 million defamation of character.
To Arsenio?
Yeah. She said, I had nothing, I don't know what you're talking about.
Did she say she did know him and hang out, but she just never gave him drugs?
She just said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then the end result was it came back, and he said, or she apologized and dropped the suit. She said that it was just, apparently they hung out, but it was just a misunderstanding.
Right. Yeah, she just left her drugs on the coffee table and he happened to take them.
Yeah. So anyway, she's right now under a psychiatrist's care in New Jersey. Hopefully, she'll do better.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think we should all just listen to her version of Nothing Compares to You,
which is a great version.
It's an amazing song all the way around, and her version is great.
But I think we should all also look up online. I'm sure somewhere there's that Prince version.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I think it was. I don't know if it was released on a record as much as I know it was on his greatest hits anthology thing, and I think Rosie Gaines does a duet with him, and it's killer. It's preferable.
All right. So now that we're going to
If only you could play music on the podcast and have to deal with those licensing fees. It's a pain in the ass, dude.
You can't do it.
No, I mean you can. It's just a pain in the ass.
As we learned when we did the podcast with the Stone Foxes, where you gave us rights to play the Stone Foxes.
Right, which I don't have the rights to give, by the way, because they have a pub deal and they need to approve it.
Well, hopefully
I did. No, but you can sue me because I did give away the rights.
You did. Yeah. You did approve it, but
yeah.
I mean, if we have to shut it off, I'll just take it off.
I mean, I don't have a lot of assets, dude. We can go to court.
I have no desire, but what I do have the desire is to see you pick another one of these.
Yeah, I want to try the one you.
Just picked one of them.
Well,
so now's the point on the podcast where Joe picks a piss of whiskey. This is Noah's Mill, which is an incredible whiskey. But we're trying to. I gave Joe earlier Pappy Van Winkle, and now I'm trying to.
That sounds a little dirty, man. You gotta be careful.
All right.
If people don't know reference in that being a whiskey, giving me Pappy Van Winkle, that could, jeez.
Why do you always have to go?
I'm not always going anywhere. That was
I'm the one.
That's pretty obviously potentially risky.
I gotta say,
not everyone knows liquor like this.
Dude, this is a dark news podcast. It is not a dark mind podcast, and you're being a dark mind.
Yeah, but where does the dark news come from? It doesn't come from light minds, dude.
I'm a light mind.
Yeah, it's being delivered through light minds, perhaps. At least medium minds. I think we're both medium minds, at least.
Well, I think you're dark mind at this point.
The content of the dark news is derived from people who have dark minds.
Right.
This is good, by the way.
It's really good. Noah's Mill is really good. That's why I was saying that was one of the ones I wanted you to try in conjunction with Pappy Van Winkle. And we're going to show this live. This is Pappy Van Winkle. Man. It's very good.
Noah's Mill just is
And this is Noah's Mill, which is really also great. And what we were drinking before was Mosswood, just so you know. And the one that you haven't tried is Michner's, which I think is also very good.
Which your name is on. I think that...
my name's on a couple of them.
All of them. I think Noah's Mill sounds like a rom-com on Lifetime television. That's my issue with it. I like the whiskey. The name feels a little weird.
Well, so did...
You know what I mean?
So did Pappy Van Winkle.
Yeah, but it's Pappy Van Winkle is a family heirloom kind of name. That's respectable. Noah's Mill feels like Dawson's Creek. I feel like James Van Der Beek is in my mouth.
Oh my God.
God damn it.
By the way, I've actually met James.
I've actually had James Van Der Beek in my mouth.
I've actually met him.
Yeah. Well, do you know he's playing Diplo in this new movie? Wait, is it? Yeah, no, it is. Right?
He's not playing Diplo.
Google that shit.
Dude, he doesn't even look close to Diplo.
No, he kind of does when he wears a hat. Doesn't. He is playing, I don't know if it's a feature film.
Dude, his face is too long. It's
okay, he has a long face. I won't deny that. Diplo.
Dude, it's not.
He's kind of a long face.
Diplo is a kind of a good looking dude.
Yeah, he's alright.
Yeah, but
Van Der Beek, you think he's ugly? Are you kidding me?
Dude,
he hasn't aged well, but he's not ugly.
He's not.
This is Whiskey and Guy Talk with Doug and Joe. But here's the deal. Check this out. There's a new movie. We should promote it out of fairness to bring it up. I don't know if it's just because I follow, being in music, you want to see what some of these big musicians are doing just to get a reference point.
Joe,
you want to copy.
Are you in music?
A little bit. You want to do a reference point, oh, God damn it. I can't cross my leg right now because of the cord. Diplo is really good sometimes at posting. Like, it's very natural and stuff. So you're like, okay, that's interesting stuff. So he posted this video, like a trailer of James Van Der Beek, like, playing him. I think it's James Van Der Beek. And I'm pretty sure it's for a full movie. It may just be for, like, a joke on his thing. But I bet you'll find one way or the other very soon, and you'll let us all know.
Okay, yeah, it's actually what would Diplo do, starring James Van Der Beek?
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah.
This is
they're
this
actually
day's example of why I'm always right.
There are a bunch of them in a row.
What do you mean? Oh, so it's like a YouTube series thing.
Yeah.
Fuck.
What were you saying?
What
was that?
Wait, hold on.
What was that? What was that?
Compile into a movie.
What was that? Oh yeah. Do you want to double check that?
No, first episode. Okay, so they're shows, or do you think they're just like mini things?
Are you gonna click on one? Are
Yeah,
we gonna
man.
play one?
It's a Viceland's first crypt.
Dude, you know this is just a joke thing.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not. It's Viceland's first scripted show. That's a series on a reputable entertainment distribution network.
Okay, so
isn't it crazy that Vice was like this tastemaker, hipster mag from New York, and now it's like one of the biggest entertainment companies almost anywhere?
Oh, you're right. It does say it reinvented himself in the space of a world famous DJ. So yeah, you're right. It's an actual show. Kudos to you.
Should we cheers me right now?
No. I'm not gonna, I don't feel like getting up that far. That's too far.
Do you know where cheersing came from?
Oh God, is this where people killed each other with glasses?
Yeah. No, man. You had to cheers because you didn't know if your person you were cheersing was poisoning you or not. So when you would, I think
then you slosh it over,
and you'd slosh in. So then you're
I knew that.
Other's poison. Well, you didn't say it.
I knew it. I said it well before.
Uh-huh.
Dude, tell me this. On a night, how many girls have you gone on one date with? Just on a night.
What?
Just tell me.
3.
3.
Long time ago.
I love that you're like.
It's a douchey thing.
It's a douchey thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so this girl, she posted the other day, and she posted.
Wait, are we still on dark news? Didn't we already do 3?
No, we did. We were doing one more.
God damn it!
Jesus Christ, dude!
No, I like this show. I just don't like getting sad. I go and this show for me, Doug, is a roller coaster of emotion, man.
Okay, first of all,
I go up and I go down, and I was in this happy place. We had gotten through the model almost getting sold to the Middle East and this other horrible shit.
Well,
and we're on this nice little moment of Diplo and James Van. I'm picturing in my mind now, man. I was gonna go to sleep and dream about people by a little river. I never watched Dawson's Creek, but I picture this nice creek in this nice place in the middle of the country. And now we're going back to dark news.
Joe, look up. First of all, the first story that we talked about was the girl who almost got sold but was not molested and ended up home safe.
All right, fair enough. I agree.
Not dark news.
If you try to spin anything about Sinead O'Connor not being dark, though, I'm not going to do that.
And then Sinead O'Connor did not kill herself. So that was good news, right?
Wasn't there one before the model? No?
No.
What were we talking about before, though? We were talking about nothing for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a great podcast.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway.
All right, fine. We get 3. But the third is supposed to be the most positive, right?
It is.
We'll see.
So, we'll see. Anyway, so you said 3 girls on one night.
Yeah, we don't have to keep talking about that. That happened when I was 18.
Yeah.
And
so
65.
Like last week. So last week you were hanging out with 3 girls on one night. All right, so Lisette Pylant, maybe.
Lisette?
Lisette. Yep.
I know Lisette.
Okay, so
she played violin for Portugal the Man, and then with the Stone Foxes. She's a good violinist.
Wait, Portugal the Man, really?
Yeah.
I love them. They're
CMJ
great.
back in the day.
All right. So anyway, so she went on a blind date for a birthday, her birthday in DC, and then 45 minutes into the date, things seemed to be going mediocre. She said, not phenomenally, and then another girl showed up.
Uh-oh.
The other girl came up to him and said, "Hey, I'm here," and that turned out to be his second date of the night.
Oh, dude.
So she was there, and she realized, wait, he double booked me.
See, I feel like this is becoming way more common in the world of, like, online dating. Where you're just, like, scheduling the crap out of that thing. You're like, oh, this week I'm going to go on dates. And you're like, oh, I'll do that at 7, and that at 8, and that at 9.
So what you're saying is you were a trendsetter before this?
No.
What, Joe?
Wait, what happened in the story?
What? So Joe was like an early setter.
What happened in the story?
Okay, so next is that Lisette decided at this point that she was just going to friend the girl and try and make the guy feel uncomfortable.
I like that. I think that's great.
Yeah, so she was I'll make this girl feel really comfortable because she doesn't know what the fuck's going on, and then I'm going to like make this guy feel uncomfortable. But at the same time, I'm going to start live tweeting my date.
Yes.
So
Lisette is awesome.
So she starts live tweeting, "Hey, it's my birthday. I was supposed to go on a date with this guy, but then he invited another girl." So they start like live tweeting that. And then also her friend works at the bar.
Lisette's friend.
Yeah, Lisette's friend works at the bar. So her friend is like, "Hey, like, I'm really sorry this is going on for your birthday." So then, right out of the next gate, hold on, I gotta, like, my scrolling's not working.
Refresh.
I'm working on refresh, hold on. This is a very, very, professional podcast. So she decided to stay, obviously, to make the guy feel awkward. When the guy went away to the bathroom, she fills her in, and the girl goes, "I'm just gonna leave." They started to leave. Both of them started to leave, and they run into another girl.
No way.
Who's on her way in. Same location.
What were the intervals, though? Were they an hour?
About an hour apart. About 45 minutes apart.
So how is this not playing on his end? Like, of course he knows when you're 50 minutes in, this is about to happen. So he's got to be, like, not in on it, but, like, setting up this trauma in his life.
Yeah, I mean, like, maybe one or two people would be like Joe level, like one or three. Three would be fair, but like he's now on 3.
Yeah, well,
and we're
talking an hour apart from one another.
An hour apart.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, even if there's somebody you don't like, you're not like gonna like jettison them after 45 minutes. Like, you're just you're gonna probably like be like, oh well, if they're normal or cool, it's fun. But, yeah, so they continue on.
Wait a minute. So they're walking out the door.
They're walking out the door.
Third comes in, they're like, oh, we got to stay for this.
No. They're like, hey, look, this is what's going on.
They told her.
Yeah.
How did they know? Did they, like, at that point, they must have just, like, assumed it.
No. What had happened is they were walking out the door. The girl asked the bartender if this guy was there. He was in the bathroom.
And then
they were
like, hey.
They were like, hey, this is what's going on.
Man.
So.
Is this Ryan Lochte? Is the guy Ryan Lochte?
No. He was just lying about peeing. And, like, that's very different.
I mean, dude, he seems like he would do this.
He would definitely do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was his TV show? Like, The Life of Lochte?
Lochte, yeah.
Lochte Life or whatever. Anyway.
So now there are 3 girls in the bar.
Right, there are 3 girls
and
there.
And the bartender.
And the bartender. And then they explain to the third girl what's going on. She's like, okay, fuck this. I'm going to leave. And as they go to leave, a 4th girl comes in. And this is where
that's absurd, because they came at the same time.
What?
They must have come at the same time the last
very close together. And at this point, they're like, what the fuck?
He must have just been trying to see, like, how many... Could he have been this stupid? Or this much of an asshole?
Or maybe he's just watched The Bachelor and thinks that, like, he should be giving out roses. I don't know.
Right. Okay, so now there are 4.
Yeah,
and at that point, the girls might be kind of laughing, right?
Oh, they're completely laughing.
Okay, yeah. Now it's funny. Now you almost are like...
Well, it's this one girl's birthday. So the one girl's like, it's my birthday, it's really funny, like, this was horrible, but now it's turned out to be somewhat entertaining.
Right.
And then they all go up to the bar and confront him.
Genius.
And while they're confronting him, a fifth girl walks in.
He was recruiting a basketball team.
I guess he's going for it. So, then the fifth girl walks in. They pull her aside. The guy walks away.
Of course.
Because he's like, this...
He's like, I think I might have mishandled this situation.
This might not be going the way he thought it was going to go.
This is like a commercial for Google Calendar. That's what this actually is.
Yeah, well, it's also a commercial for why not to be Joe when he was younger. Right. Well, obviously only 3, but you were aspiring.
And it was from like a breakfast to like a hike at like 3 in the afternoon to a late.
You don't have to explain.
There were 20 hours of space in there.
You don't have to explain. Anyway, so then while they're like all conferring on what to do about.
So wait, there are 5 now.
5 girls now, and they're all hanging out. Trying to figure out.
And he's walking out the front door. He's walking away. He went to like go play darts in the corner. What did he do?
He went to the back room where he had his 6 dates.
No way.
Yeah. So he's in the back room. There's another girl there.
That was already there from before.
No, who came in and walked around these girls, somehow missed them, and he like sat in the back corner. They all confronted him while he was with the 6th girl, and the 6th girl was like, what is going on? Like, this seems odd. By the way, the 6th girl had also said, I'm going to go meet this guy, and his mom and aunt, or her mom and aunt were in the location next door, restaurant next door.
Yeah.
So then all of that, she mentioned that her mom and aunt were around the corner. So they all went and hung out with the mom and aunt.
6 women, mom, aunt, dude.
And no.
Oh.
Dude.
So bailed on dude.
Dude left.
Wow.
Yeah. They did not out dude's name. And they posted pictures of all of them together without dude.
That's insane, man.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But now they're like best of friends, because that is the best friend meeting story of all.
Oh no, they say they're all really good friends together. They've all like hung out together. The girl who posted all of the live tweeting, and that I can tell you her exact name just in case you want to follow her.
Should Ben be nibbling the top of the Noah's Mill?
I'm sure it's fine.
Right.
I mean, probably not the worst thing.
He's maybe getting drunk.
He's not even nibbling it, dude.
He was messing with it, dude. we can edit this part out, right?
No, we can't. No, this is all staying together. Anyway, so yeah. If you want to follow her, it's Lisette Pylant.
So the original one.
Yeah. So it's Lisette Pylant.
I feel like not to give the guy any more publicity, but like he should have a television show where it's like dating 10 people in an hour and just see how you navigate that. You know,
well,
like
I think it would just be a whole bunch of girls becoming good friends.
Right.
So
there's camaraderie there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an idiot, dude. Good for them. That was a lemonade moment.
Yeah.
Turning lemon into lemonade. Not like Beyonce, but like Well, I mean, yeah, like Beyonce.
All right. So this is Vomiting Rainbows.
All right.
Find us on We Vomit Rainbows.
Has there ever been a show that just ended like that though? Like maybe that's the end of Game of Thrones. Alright. That's how it ends.
Alright, so I think
that's owning the ending.
I think you should write us in the future and see if you like Drunk Vomiting Rainbows or Vomiting Rainbows, because I really think Drunk Vomiting Rainbows was pretty good tonight.
Well, the thing about that is that we won't be able to really judge that right now. We'll know that tomorrow. Like, when we drink some water and wake up and we're sober, we'll be like, oh, these were 2 drunk idiots talking about 200 topics in 45 minutes. Or we'll be like, wow, this is a clever, interesting, how much time? You just looked at the time.
57
That's a lot of talking,
That's
man.
a lot of talking.
We're like lose our voice over this shit.
We might.
How do people do talk shows?
Okay. And this is Vomiting you can find us on all social media.
Is that a Skeletor Pez dispenser, though, in all seriousness?
Which one?
The only Pez dispenser in the entire room.
No, this.
That's not. Oh, is that the dude from Star Wars?
Yeah.
He was never that purple, man. That's bullshit.
But this was for Star Wars days.
Doesn't it kind of look like Skeletor?
I got this so that Ben would try and bite his head off.
See, that would be righteous. And you could put a little lightsaber on his paw.
Yeah, so that was that. Anyway, so this is... We Vomit Rainbows.
Why do you have a power pack over here not connected to anything?
Where?
Up, right